Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Ryder and I'm a homeschool mom of 2 kiddos, a 5-year-old boy and a 4-year-old girl. I keep wanting to say she's 2, but no, she's definitely 4 and we are done with that terrible twos. I wanted to just create a video talking about my experience thus far. I think we're about, I think like 6 or 7 months into our first official year homeschooling. Now, I did do some homeschooling prior to my son starting his official kindergarten year, but this is our first year to pull out brand spanking shiny new curriculum, and I just want to talk about our journey thus far. So before actually getting into the nitty-gritty and like actually teaching from curriculum, I did a lot of research and talked to a lot of people and had this big idea, and it was just an idea and the things I was doing. But I want to just kind of affirm some things. If there's anyone out there, trying to make preparations to start homeschooling their kids, thinking about it or doing it, what I've learned in this last 6 to 7 months has been that you don't really know until you get into it. So you just have to do it. And I think a surefire way or a good sign is if you're doing the research, looking it up. I looked from like what our state requires for homeschooling, and then I looked up just our local school districts, what they're teaching, and I looked into psychology of children and like what's important and love and all those things. And not to say I get all of those things right on a daily basis, absolutely not. But what I do believe firmly in is if your heart is there, if you're researching, if you're looking, curriculum and your spirituality and just the psychology for yourself and for your children, I think you're going to be more than prepared to homeschool your children. If you've done all your research, and like the research is going to be ongoing for sure, but I believe if you are doing your research, doing your due diligence to make sure you're prepared, just for their education and for schedules and planning, and then the psychology that goes into how do small children learn, how do I teach my children, whatever your religious practice is, how do I instill that in my children. If you're doing those things and even looking into it, I think you're going to be more than prepared, because when the rubber meets the road, when things get going, you are going to already be prepared and like researching and just kind of with your finger on the pulse. So what I will say is you won't really know until you're doing it. But if it's something that is like you can't stop thinking about, you can't stop talking about it, you're researching it, you're consumed by it for more than just, a week, then do it, make the preparations to do it, figure out all the other things and go for it. I feel like you don't want to have any regrets. And what I personally have felt is, though there have been some big question marks and still, I still have question marks to this day, I feel like teaching my kids and like them have never been in any kind of institution of like even daycare or anything like that. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm just saying organically teaching my children the things that they know, my son knowing how to read and now picking up addition, and literally, I'm like still praying to God that we still have like success and patience as we go through the next months and years. But just thus far, my son can read a book to me. I think his curriculum, he has 3 books. I want to say the first book was 200 pages and he finished that first book. He's maybe like 2 stories and then he'll be done with the second one, which is another 200 pages. So in the last 6 months, not including our read alouds and things like that, I'm proud that my child is reading, and not proud in the fact of where, we don't have to practice and be consistent with it, because we do have to work for this. I have to work in my patience and planning, and then he's got to work in, his patience and just trying to get those sounds down and reading. But what I want to drive home is that joy in seeing that it's possible. And just as some backstory, I'm not an educator. I've never been a teacher. I don't have a certification to teach or anything like that. I did go to college and I am licensed as a registered nurse in the state of Texas. But, I just started teaching. I had this desire to teach my children, and thus far it is working. I'm not, I believe, so so tunnel vision to where you know, are not able to pick up on things that you might need to change or tweak or advise and things like that. Obviously, you know, I do still pay attention to all of those things. But what I want to say as an encouragement to someone who is looking into it, you got this, you can do this. You know, I don't know where you're starting. Like I said, my kids are kindergarten and preschool age, so everything now is pretty light. You know, I'm not teaching them calculus or trigonometry or deep history or anything like that. You know, we're just going to do it one day at a time, and then when we get to those next things, we'll tackle it. We'll find the resources, we'll find the people and things like that. But right now, what I will say is I had a lot of like desire to do it, along with some anxiety, but I am so grateful that I started. The memories we make, the things we get to do, just the other skills that I have been able to do with my kids, confidence building and, you know, determination and just consistency. Those things have been like such a treasure and such a joy. So I hope to share this video to where it's encouraging. You know, you really don't know until you start. And what I will say is this is our first official year to like track it, have a calendar, get the curriculum that I remember my 5th grade teacher having, the spiral bound book, you know, and with her sticky notes and all the things and doing activities. And that's literally what I'm doing with my kids. But what I will say is when my son turned 4, we started with the Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons, which was a bit of a little like, it was new. It was a challenge, and I definitely enjoy our new language arts and reading curriculum much better, but I appreciate that, and I still use that book for my daughter. Just, it's a nice, simple, you know, cut and dry, no frills way to transition them with sounds and stuff like that. But what I mean to say is I did that just to kind of do like the training wheels. I knew that it was an official, you know, him being 4 years old, but I wanted to develop my patience. I wanted to develop his attention span and all those little things before it was like, you know, like go day. So thank you so much for watching. Stay encouraged. I make videos. I try to put them out regularly, but got so much going on: homeschooling, home life, and then just other business ventures that I am, you know, involved in right now. But homeschooling is a passion of mine, raising my children, being a better person, mother, things like that. So, you know, I hope this encourages you, and good luck. Share your thoughts, your ideas, and where you are right now as well. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys real soon.